Let's look at how momentum is conserved in a collision. Let's say you have two hockey players, and hockey player one has a mass of 80 kilograms, and he is skating along with a velocity of 5 meters per second. Now let's say hockey player two, whoops, there's a funny head there. Hockey player two, let's say he has a mass of 75 kilograms, but he is skating along with the velocity of 6 meters per second, and they are on a collision course. Okay, they are going to collide with one another, and we are going to assume that they stick together, okay, because they like to fight and hit each other with those sticks. Ultimately, what I want to know is how fast are the two hockey players moving after the collision. Well, again, we know that our initial momentum has to equal our final momentum. That is the rule. Now, the momentum of hockey player one, 80 kilograms times 5 meters per second, momentum of hockey player one is 400 meters or kilogram meters per second. The momentum of hockey player two, 75 kilograms, but times 6 meters per second, is actually 450 kilogram meters per second. So who wins this collision? I've got 400 kilogram meters per second in one direction, and I've got 450 kilogram meters per second in the opposite direction. Hockey player two wins the collision, and they move in this direction with a net momentum, so the final momentum, of 50 kilogram meters per second. It's 50 kilogram meters per second because the arrows are in the opposite direction, so you subtract them. So the final momentum has to equal the final mass times the final velocity. So our 50 kilogram meters per second has to equal the final mass. Well, if the two hockey players collide and stick together, then we would have to add their mass together. So we would have 155 kilograms times the final velocity. Divide by what is in front of the letter. And our kilograms cross out. And 50 divided by 155 is 0.32 meters per second. So our final velocity would be about 1/3 of a meter per second, which seems pretty reasonable because once two things collide head on, they will not move as fast in the direction of whoever has the most momentum.